Hey everybody, it's Michael Padone with SalesBuzz.com, and I'm getting inundated today with questions from people that just listened to the Darryl Prail VanillaSoft interview that I recently did. I guess I did a couple of them, and the second one was just released. Anyway, in it I mentioned about there are 5 roles. Every prospect that you ever run into is going to run into 5 roles, or 5 categories, if you will, as it relates to their decision-making ability. And a lot of people are asking me, what those 5 roles are, etc. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, I have a sales course. You can just go and buy that, and it would actually help you very much. But I don't want to make it appear like I'm trying to push it. So I'm going to tell you what the 5 roles are. And if that helps, great. But I would really recommend that you just get your company to pop out their credit card and go get the course for you, because it's just one fee and everybody can access it. And I just think it would make a lot more sense for you that way. But with that being said, here it is. Every prospect you ever speak to is going to fit into one of 5 roles as it relates to their decision-making ability. The first one is this. They're obviously the ultimate decision maker. What does that mean? The ultimate decision maker means that they don't need anybody else's approval within the company. Everybody else in the company could be against it, and this one person says, yeah, we're doing it, then it gets done, right? So that's easy, the ultimate decision maker. And the second one is this, is they're part of the decision-making team. Now, what does that mean? It means that they have a vote. You need and want their vote, but their vote alone does not get the deal done. And that can happen in all sorts of different areas. Like, obviously, if it's an enterprise level deal, sometimes you can be speaking to one person that can make the decision for everything. That's the way, for that particular situation, that you're speaking to the ultimate decision maker in that area. There's going to be other times that that person is part of the decision-making team, and maybe they have a board, as an example, right? They have several people, they have a process, other people have to sign off on it. It doesn't have to be an enterprise level deal, though. It could also be a small business, right? Maybe sometimes that there's a partnership there, and maybe they agree at a mom and pop or 2 brothers or whatever it is, some type of partnership where they agree that anything over a certain amount, they both have to sign off on it. So just because you're calling a lead and it says that they're the owner, you don't want to assume that they're the decision maker, because how many times have you gone ahead and assumed they were a decision maker, and then you get to the end, to the close, and they go, well, I got to check with so-and-so. And now you're stuck, right? Because it's one of 2 things, like I mentioned in the interview that I did with Darryl. They're either telling the truth or they're lying. And if you try to handle it then, you just created a problem that you could have avoided if you just added this one small step to your sales process during the qualifying phase of identifying your prospect's role. And you have to know what those 5 roles are if you're going to be able to follow that step, right? So the first role is, are they the decision maker? The second one is, are they part of the decision-making team? The third one is, they're an influencer. Now, what does that mean? Some people call them a champion. I call it an influencer. Here's the difference. An influencer has the ear of the decision maker or decision makers, but they do not have a vote. I'm willing to bet you, if you have a lot of stuck deals in your pipeline right now, when you go back and look at them after watching this video, if you start asking yourself, is this really a decision maker or is it more of an influencer? The reason why a lot of your deals are stuck is because you're presenting to the influencer and not the ultimate decision maker. And that's going to be part of the problem. And if you would have learned to implement this simple little step in your sales process early on, before you got to that point, you would have handled things a little bit differently. You would have shortened that sales process. All right. So that's the first 3: decision, part of the decision-making team, influencer. The fourth one is an end user. A lot of times, especially when I was early on in my sales career as a straight commission sales rep, I would go ahead and call, and I learned quickly that just because somebody uses the product doesn't mean that they can make even though it would benefit them the most, doesn't mean that they can make the decision on it. So you want to make sure that you're not pitching to an end user. And by the way, before I get asked this, well, can a decision maker also be an end user? Yes. Let me give you an example. I use the CRM system that we have in our company, right? I'm the one that chose the CRM system, but I'm also an end user. So when you run into a situation like that, you always go with the highest part that they have. So I'm the ultimate decision maker, but I can also be an end user. But if an end user can't make any decision at all, then they're just simply categorized as an end user. In my case, I would be the decision maker. Does that make sense? I know I'm going quickly, but hopefully that makes sense. So you have the decision maker, part of the decision-making team, influencer, end user. What's the last one? Last one is information gatherer, especially on inbound warm leads. I cannot tell you how many deals are lost to their competitors because a salesperson, they got an inbound warm lead, they think, oh, they're ready to buy, they skip all these steps, they jump to a presentation, do the demo, whatever, send the quote, and what they really did is they have no idea if this person is the decision maker, part of the decision making team, influencer, end user, or they could have just been an intern or a gatekeeper or secretary who was asked to get some basic information. And what happens? You give them all the information you want, they take it, they do the same thing to the other three things, they take it to the decision maker goes with the one that's $50 less. And you just lost an opportunity. All because you skipped a step, you didn't know how to handle this, and what to do. There's two things. You have to know how to identify what the role is, and then what to do based on what role they are in. And again, if you want really detailed explanations, I lay out my entire sales process that in the online sales training course. It's 1 hour a week for 8 weeks. Doesn't cost a lot. Your company should be able to afford it easily, and it'll pay huge dividends. If this is the kind of stuff you're looking to learn to be better at selling by phone, I'd highly recommend it. With that being said, I hope this helps. Let me know if I can help you with anything else. You can just DM me through LinkedIn. All right? Take care, guys.